interesting. And I think what has been so inspiring, observing your journey as a musician, is you know, how you communicate, not just through your playing as that musician, but how vocally, you know, you speak about it, and how it really reaches so many different generations, all people, all across the globe. And I think that sometimes we're taught to be a certain type of musician. And I'm just curious that in your case, you know, you have won Grammys for jazz and classical albums. You've just won a myriad of awards for so many different types of disciplines. And in a way, I'm slightly speechless here, and I'm in complete awe as well. But as a young musician, when you picked that trumpet, or when you were given the trumpet by your father, and I believe that it was several years before you actually got lessons on it. I think something like from the age of 6 until 12. Do you think that period was so crucial for you just to explore the instrument in your way?
No, you know, I wasn't really thinking about the instrument during that time.
Uh,
But I want to say also, talking to you, you've had a fascinating journey with many things, triumphs, obstacles to overcome, and continue to. So, you know, we all have different degrees of things, you know, and I mean, certainly to speak with you to talk about, you know, all about the thing that you've asked me. I wasn't really serious about the music. I was just a typical Black kid in a segregated Louisiana town, born in the 1960s. So we played football. We did the stuff we did, some intelligent, some dumb. I did whatever everybody else did. Played a lot of ball. I'm gonna be an artist and all that. That wasn't a part of our vocabulary. Now, my father, on the other hand, was an artist. He was very intelligent, very universal in his thinking, very different from everyone in that time. That embarrassed me when we would be like in a barber shop or something, because I was very much into the whole Black nationalist movement and the tribalism that grips people when they feel like there's a chance for a victory with your tribe. My father, however, was never about that. He was a universal humanist in a time and in a place that no one was like that. So he seemed like a person from another planet. Most of what I have talked about or that I've done in my time come from him.
mm.
I was always with him, I was around him, and I didn't agree with a lot of him. But most times I was making him laugh because he was very serious, whereas I joked and played and clowned all the time. He was a sensitive person, whereas I was a guy who would be more out in the street fighting and didn't care and was always good at athletics and that kind of stuff. My father was one of the worst quarterbacks in American football ever. He would throw passes and you would be wondering, man, how does a man get to be your age and throw passes that are this ugly? So, you know, the one thing I said when I had kids, I'm gonna make sure I can throw a football with accuracy. And, you know, I joked and teased with him a lot, but I think if of anything, talking to people, a kind of universal human message and the importance of the overall and the attempt to seek. My father was very philosophical, so he always was looking at the largest group, and no, nobody was thinking like that in that time. Not just us. I mean, we were kids. Where we were segregated behind the second set of railroad tracks in the Mississippi River in Kenner, Louisiana, and all of what that was between 1965 and 73 and 74. Playing trumpet was not, nobody was playing any type of music except whatever was on the radio. And yeah, I think the education I received from him about being a human being has helped me. And as I've noted, my father passed away last year. But I think just having an example of him, he liked classical music. He was the one who would say, man, you know, check out Haydn, or check out Bach, check out. One of his friends won the concerto competition to play with the New Orleans Philharmonic in the 50s. And that was a time when, believe me, nobody Black was, they weren't. That's so abstract. His name was Alvin Batiste. He's a great clarinetist. So I grew up with them, and then, you know, they were kind of wild too. Like they had their thing, but they believed in the kind of bringing cultures together. When I left home when I was 17, my father gave me the book Autobiography of a Yogi about Paramahansa Yogananda. And all the years I was with him, I hung out in clubs every night. Since the time I was born, I was always with him. He never said a single word about a yogi ever. I thought, This guy could give me a 500-page book with a bunch of Indian people's names while I'm leaving his house somewhat contentiously. You know, so I mean, with him, it was always, and I always wanted to impress him, or always wanted to make him proud, or make him, and you know, he didn't just like everything. So sometimes I would do stuff and he'd be like, man, if you lost your brain or what,